y'all, welcome to the Bordello of Bloodrayne. Catchy, isn't it? For this Halloween special, I thought we'd take a look at a horror action character that, while was on the way to becoming one of the horror greats in gaming, kind of faltered along the way and now is completely almost forgotten. Of course, if you saw the title of the video, you already know that I'm talking about that dual-bladed, crimson-haired seductress known as Bloodrayne. Created by developer Terminal Reality, whose previous game at the time, the survival horror title Nocturne, gave much inspiration to Miss Rayne, the franchise spawned not only games, but comics, art books, action figures, and a film series directed by Uwe Boll. A film series that people really want to forget about. But before her popularity could get any bigger, the series just died down. Almost nothing until 2011. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, so let's take a look at the original and see how well it holds up today. Bloodrayne takes place during the time of World War II, where we see our heroine hunting down vampires in order to find her father, himself a powerful vampire. She's then approached by members of the Brimstone Society, an organization devoted to hunt down paranormal evil. They want to employ her services, for not only are they searching for her father, but because she is a Dhampir, a half-human, half-vampire hybrid, and doesn't have as many weaknesses as a full vampire.
We have no use for a vampire in our ranks. This is a waste of time.
Not vampire. Half vampire. Fewer weaknesses. She must feed.
She agrees to become an agent and is sent on a mission to prevent a Nazi general from collecting powerful occult artifacts to resurrect an ancient demon in order to win the war and rule the world. Now, I'll be honest with you, the story is not the strongest, especially considering that the whole Nazis want occult artifacts ploy has been used a lot already, most notably in the Castle Wolfenstein series. But this is a game that puts more emphasis on the action than the story. And of course, sex appeal doesn't hurt either. That and Rayne's a pretty cool character, like a combination of Blade and Solid Snake, but prettier. Bloodrayne is a third-person action-adventure where you must complete the objectives given to you in order to progress, such as killing certain targets or just making it to the stage's endpoint. Your main weapons are the dual blades that Rayne has attached to her arms, allowing her to get all Wolverine on the undead. Your attacks are very basic, but progress into longer, more powerful combos as you play through the game. You'll also pick up a random assortment of guns that you can dual-wield, like handguns, shotguns, and machine guns, as well as explosives scattered throughout the stages. These are separated into 4 categories, from lightest to special, complete with auto-targeting. However, at least to me anyway, it felt like Rayne's blades did a lot more damage than the guns did, and I ended up just slicing everything in my path. Being a Dhampir, Rayne does have a bit of the vampiric power at her disposal as well. She has an insane amount of agility, allowing her to jump at high distances, as well as a rebound kick that can bust down walls and doors. Although I'm not gonna lie, that kick looks awfully familiar.
Corkscrew kick! Eight ball, quarter pocket.
At the start, Rayne has an aura sense that allows her to see an enemy's presence as well as give her directions on where to go. Kinda like Navi from The Legend of Zelda, only not high-pitched. I wonder what it would sound like if Navi was in this game.
Hello? Look! Hey! Listen! Watch out! Ah!
As you progress, you earn more abilities like a zoom vision and the ability to slow down time around you. Then there's Blood Rage. Essentially a berserker mode, Rayne goes into a frenzy and her attacks do double damage. Of course, you'll still need to feed, which is just as simple as getting close to an enemy and latching on, allowing Rayne to not only get a bite, but can use her dinner as a shield against attacks. You're even given a harpoon so you can bring dinner to you a la Scorpion for Mortal Kombat. Last but not least, she does have one big weakness: water. While a normal vampire would melt being in water, Rayne just takes acidic-like damage from taking a bath, so you have to be careful, especially in the first chapter where the majority of the damn stage is water-based. so get those platformer skills ready. Now, if there's anything to get gripey about, there are a few things. First is the difficulty. While fighting your standard enemies is alright enough, the bosses can be quite a pain in the ass, especially the first boss. Second, the controls. While not too terrible, they might be a bit archaic to some, like having the left trigger as your melee attack, for example, even if you change the settings around. My recommendation is to stick with first-person controls, as it goes with that dual-stick setup that most games are accustomed to. On top of that, the camera tends to get real zoomed in on some parts, making it tough to see and navigate tight corridors. One thing I want to mention, only because it's interesting for this game, is its cheats. Now, you do have your standard God mode and level select cheats, but then you have some cool ones like crazy dismemberment of your enemies, changing the speed of your slow-mo, and showing the guns visibly on Rayne's body. Wait, there's another one here. What's Juggy mode?
Damn bloodsuckers.
Careful with your relatives.
They should have more sense. Thanks for dragging me out here. I just love the water.
You're only half vampire.
What is it?
It is, was, human. Might be remains from the final stages of the disease, but there's something not quite right about it.
She's a bitch!
Visually, BloodRayne looks pretty good for an early Xbox game, in some spots. While the main characters like Rayne look really good, some of the standard enemies kinda look a little muddy, but maybe that's what they were going for? The stages are varied enough, having you travel from the swamps of Louisiana, to catacombs in Argentina, to the final castle in Germany, and for the most part they look pretty good and decrepit. Something you'd expect to see in a game like this. For the audio, the voice acting is better than I expected, with Rayne throwing out quips and one-liners as much as Duke Nukem would.
Said you might come this way.
He's given up on the relic?
What you have is not the only relic. Foolish little girl. You know nothing. Just like that stupid priest, he knows nothing but lies. The great Beliar is the original devil. When Mephisto fell from heaven, he usurped Beliar. When he couldn't destroy him, Mephisto ripped Beliar into 1,000 pieces and scattered him in all directions. Do you know which relic Wolf is unearthing in Castle Gestalt right now? Beliar's black seething heart. The key to ruling the world is in our own country, and Wolf will control it.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Plus, Rayne might sound familiar to you. She's played by Laura Bailey, known for her game roles as Chun-Li in recent Street Fighter games, Catherine, Sarah in the Final Fantasy XIII series, and most recently as Nadine Ross in Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy. With music, there's more ambience here than actual music, which, don't get me wrong, the ambience is really damn good, but the music that's here goes for that hard rock edge that most games back then went for, and I kinda dig it. Can't help it. I'm a sucker for music like that back in the day. The first BloodRayne is a game that, while may not have aged gracefully in some parts, is still a great start to a cool series with fun gameplay and a story that's pretty enjoyable. You can find it out and about for a fairly recent price for any version really, or you could get it on popular PC game services like Steam and GOG.com as well. Now, it would be a couple of years before Rayne's pseudo-popularity would really gain some speed with the sequel, so come back next time when we check out BloodRayne 2. For now, this is the Dolly Popka. Thanks for watching. See you then.